Welcome to the grand opening of Hongera Saana Uganda office, a remarkable milestone in our journey towards enhancing community resilience and growth in Uganda.
Olunaku olwo tubadde tutongoza amaka gaffe obutongole oba tuyinza okuyita ofiisi yaffe mu Lunyaanyimbe. Ebintu bingi ebigenda okutandika okuva n'olunaku lwa leero ekyokulabirako nti pulogulaamu zaffe naddala ez'ebyobulimi zigenda kutandika era nga zitandika ng'ennaku z'omwezi 9 tugenda kutandikira Kiboga.
Ekibiina kigenda kukulaakulanya bantu okubajja mu bwavu okulaba nti tuteekawo embeera ate nga pulezidenti tumwagala dde mu ntebe mu ebbanga lyonna tukyagenda mu buli disitulikiti ate tujja kutuuka ng'ate nammwe mutukwatidde baana gwe mwatuwa mwana muto naye akola ebintu bya ssajja kikulu naffe ffennyini abakadde tumutya ffe tumutya naffe ebintu byakola bya kisajja kikulu. Tutandise okuteeka emisingi wansi era abantu bavuwale otunenye kuba ebintu jja bituwa ne ssente ozituwe.
One man, Albert Einstein, once said, "Peace cannot be kept by only the forces. It can only be achieved by understanding." And another man, Ronald Reagan, once said, "Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope with conflict by peaceful means." Ladies and gentlemen, in a country that has been in so many issues, such as wars and conflicts, a country that has very many tribes, religions, and various political beliefs, and has been a victim of terrorism and violent crime, it's only wise that the nation devises means to address the PCVE issues in a strategic way, hence Hongera Saana Uganda. Hongera Saana Uganda was established particularly to advance peace through socio-economic transformation, household income development, and community engagement. Since our inception, Hongera Saana Uganda has had various community engagements with key stakeholders involved in PCVE, including communities that are vulnerable to indoctrination and recruitment to violent extremism. During the Ramadan period, Hongera Saana Uganda distributed food items to various Muslim leaders, particularly the imams, amirs, and amirats, in various districts of the country, such as Pigi, Gomba, Mityana, Butambala, Wakiso, and Kampala district. And our dear chief guest, the director counter-terrorism, I am privileged to report that we impacted an average of 20,000 Ugandans, because these leaders that we selected, in one way or the other, they were almost having more than 20 Ugandans and above that were under their control. After AIGP, currently Hongera Saana Uganda is set to flag off the distribution of agriculture inputs such as seeds, poultry birds, coffee seedlings to the various communities of Uganda. And Afanda IGP allow me also to report that is planned on the 9th day of April 2025. And it's my pleasure that I extend my invitation to you, sir, the way you have loved us always to be with us, that also on that day we be together. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to inform you that we are here today to officially open up the office of Hongera Saana Uganda. Most of you are aware that we launched the Hongera Saana Uganda initiative on the 26th day of February 2025 at Fairway. But since our launch, most of you have not been aware where we really reside. And it is the reason as to why we are here today. Afande IGP, allow me and all other directors and our dear special guests, allow me to inform you that it's our pleasure to host you here and feel at home. Hongera Saana Uganda is here for all our people, not only the wananchi, but also the great people like you, sir. From the IGP, as our commitment towards PCVE, we have always worked with different stakeholders and different directorates and departments. Particularly, for example, in the Uganda Police Force, we have always, in one or the other, worked with the Directorate of Political Commissariat, particularly under the CLOs. And today, we have here the Community Liaison Officer of Wakiso Division, one of the biggest districts in Uganda, who has even always contributed positively to our efforts towards PCVE.
I would like to thank the IGP and other security agencies for their wisdom to embark on the centralized sub-county policing model, which has registered some mileage in bringing police services to the community, hence the 4.1% reduction of crime registered during 2024. In PCVE, the community is our stadium that hosts all the prayers in the crime chain, from attestators to prayers, victims, reporters, law enforcers, investigators, etc. Hence, the need to put community engagement at the heart of PCVE to make it move properly. It's through community engagement that we shall be able to identify and address the root causes, detect early warning signs and response, promote public and partnership geared towards PCVE, empower the community to own the PCVE agenda. As a CLO in charge of the largest district in Uganda, I'm honored to be part of this momentous occasion. I therefore offer my support to Hongera Saana as not only an advocate, but also a key partner in execution of its strategic activities. And therefore, I take this opportunity to thank the President, the IGP, Director Counter-Terrorism, Uganda Police Force, leadership of Internal Security Organization, leadership of Hongera Saana, and all other stakeholders, that I pray that all, in the name of Allah, all shall be well for God and my country. Thank you so much.
For a very long time, the approach that we had, that we deployed in countering terrorism, was the hard approach. We used the military means. The only way you deal with the root cause of the problem is not through the hard means. It is not through Bikonde. It is through sitting on the round table and discussing, finding out from the other colleague, why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you fighting? So, a little while ago, we agreed and started the approach of PCVE. You hear somebody has been talking about PCVE. PCVE is prevention and countering of violent extremism using the soft approach, which means you need to dialogue with people. So we started going to the communities, engaging the communities on issues, and especially the Muslim community, and unfortunately the Salaf community specifically, because when ADF came, they took advantage and recruited most of our young people from the Salaf community. And all the time when we were dealing with the issue of terrorism, whenever we would arrest, we found that we were arresting young boys who belonged to the Salaf community. And so the Muslim community started to think that the government was deliberately targeting Islam or Muslims at that. So there was this bitterness that was created between the Muslim community who thought that government was deliberately targeting the Muslim population. But when we started to engage with our colleagues and speak to them about this issue, we both discovered that there was a communication gap. There was merely a problem. There was no communication between the security elements and the community. That's where there was misunderstanding. In one of the meetings, when I entered, I thought I could not conclude that meeting because of the bitterness that I would see from the Muslim population. And you could see that all the things that they are talking about are correct. Then we discovered that there were mistakes on our side. Some of our security officers maybe misbehaved, mishandled these cases, and these are things we needed to correct. And so we started to work with our friends to mobilize, but there were mistakes again that were being made by the people who were mobilizing the Muslims. But the individuals who were started to misuse the platform. They would go and collect money from people. They would go and solicit funds in the name of the office of the president. And so we had cancelled that program. Luckily enough, Ashraf comes to us and says, no, let's not cancel it. I have a better idea. I think we can do this thing a different way. Said, what can you do? They said, we want to register Hongera, and we use this platform to champion this activity that we have started. So he went ahead. We vetted him, by the way. We did our background checks. We profiled him and vetted him, and we thought, yes, this young man, I think, has a vision, and we allowed him to go ahead. It is easier for anybody to come and say, I'm from President's office, and you use that platform to do wrong things. That's what we didn't want to have. And Ashraf, I want to implore you that continue with what you have started, and do not deviate. Don't allow, people are going to start walking into these premises, claiming to be wanting to partner with you, but I need you to be very, very, very careful. Recently, I think we had some internal issues again. Some people had already infiltrated and wanted to mislead you. And it was going to cost the operations of this place. But luckily enough, that was corrected. And now I think we're going to continue very well. To those of you who are working under Hongera, please stick to what Hongera is all about. Because we are seeing that Hongera now is a platform that has demonstrated that is going to be able to do what it's supposed to do, and we can partner with Hongera. They will tell you, okay, but now we are here, we see Hongera is helping us to liaise with the other civil society organizations and development partners, and they are able to get some of the things for us. And they are going to help us to make sure that as we spread the message, we are also dealing with the economic issue. And I think when we start like this, this is just the beginning. We shall have many more civil society members joining Hongera, partnering with us and making sure that we get to our people what they deserve.
I'm gratified to be part of Hongera, a peace organization tool for our community. Progressive NGO also done through mobilizing the entire community, not only Muslims. Not so. Hongera is mobilizing each and every Ugandan to be a peace-loving person. Why am I saying so? 3/4 or 99.9% of ADF were not communities from the Islamic community. If you look at the history, people were just converting, including Jamilu Mkuru, not so? Wasn't he a Catholic? So it means that anybody can be part and parcel of any wrong doing. So it is the liberty of every Ugandan to make sure that we mobilize ourselves to cherish peace, to love peace. Tell everybody that peace is what? Is very good, and peace transforms the community, and it is on that basis that development can be achieved. I'm not going to speak a lot, although I'm interested in this program. Why? Initially, of what Mahmoud has just talked about, we began it some time back, but some bad tomatoes spoiled the entire program. And I think my last meeting was in Buyuku. I had around 5,000 people, just at the lake near the barracks there, the road bridge. It was all over the news and so on and so forth. So, what Hongera is doing is not news to me. And the other time when we were meeting, I was telling them that if I'm to evaluate the efforts that we are pushing in to ensure that we are peaceful in the country, they can't be confined at this moment. Just like other speakers be saying, we have been everywhere, and ours is talk, and the listeners are to take the message, and the message should not end in the vidala. It must be replicated up to the last person, so that we get a better community, especially for the young. I was telling somebody that the other time that there is nobody who fears death than somebody who is above 50 years. I'm telling you, we love life. Life is very sweet. I'm just 58 years. You get me? But if you told me to die now, I'll tell you that let my baby die. This is the right time of enjoying yourself. So peace and if you told that kid of 1 year to say you die, he'll tell you that that one is a witch. Not so. So life is all about peace and living together. So bakulu bannanga baliwa. Ensonga gye tugezaako okukulembeza ya butebenkevu, ya kubeera mu ddembe, kubeera ne communities abantu ba bulijjo, making sure nti wonna we tubeera tugezaako okusaasaanya ekigambo kyaki emirembe. Are you together? Eno programu ya Hongera etajetinga ekintu kimu. Abantu balina okwerowooleza nti bw'okola omuntu ekibi, owulira otya? Waka tugeze bw'oba ogenda okukola omuntu ekibi, owulira otya? Waliwo communities, waliwo abantu betumanyi individuals nga ye takwatibwa nsonyi. Ate ffe nga mu Busiraamu tumanyi nti bw'oba tolina nsonyi, then you are not worth to live. Oba omuntu atalina nsonyi asobola n'okweyambula nga bwe tuli wano nolaba nga yakola bibi. So ensonyi kintu kikulu nnyo. It promotes harmony in your heart, in the people you live with, okay? And at the end of the day, the stability of the community begins from there. Naturally, tugezeeko nnyo okubuulira abaana baffe. Abantu kwegamba nibo tunayogera Oluzungu, nibo tunayogera ki Oluswahili, naye without mobilizing our own people we stay with, we begin with, we stay with throughout our lives. Mu maka gaffe, okay, you'll get a distracted society. Nga buli kaseera buli omu alowooza kiki, ebyenfuna byafuka byanfuna, waliwo abalowooza nti mugenda n'oyogera ennyo ku muzindaalo, n'ovuma pulezidenti, n'ovuma eggwanga, n'ovuma buli omu. Okay, that's when Uganda is going to change. Actually, recently, That employees are one of the program. Bulinga Ganti, and you have a limit, we will not have a of President Museveni from morning up to morning, just to the government. That's how those things are done. Because situation is our, we are determined. We name it that we to Uxusaji, Ukulembeze. Our batting is the side. That will take a what for. So you say no. Ashraf, we had the office now, relation between the Mugant, that's very good. First of all, to present the Messiah, Mito, the Gino Kulin, the Zachi, the Zino, they no mobilizing about their colleagues. They are colleagues. Okay? So we can do the advisory. Okay? Niyo kubanti yasobola okulowooza ku kino ekintu kyetugenda okulonkinga leero kibeera successful like this. Saana okugalo. Olw'ensonga eyo tumuwagire pulogulaamu zonna tuziwagire naye abakulembeze kino mbakubiriza. I've worked with so many organizations of this same nature. Kubakuwa something to deliver to the community. Please do it. If you don't have trust, people start doubting whom you are. Womayantichi, kino ekintu kinene, naye bwe mutateekamu the word trust at every level. It can collapse within a what? Within a single minute. Are you together? So, whenever who are going to be entrusted with the leadership, the core leadership, the distribution chain, and each and everything, I'm convinced that once we run the word trust, we shall at least succeed beyond our expectations. Then nebiseera byebino ako kankogere tuba tukola ki tumuvinga gye tumuvinga under the umbrella of Hongera. Of course, this the only government that we know that has cherished and nurtured peace is of course none other than the government. So with the process we must be moving. Yes, we will be afraid just like you, okay? Just like any other human being can have mistakes, okay? We can correct these mistakes. So Terrorism is afraid of living down, okay? Leaving your home and getting out of it does not mean that you are solving a problem. Mchalo okera kumacha na aganti atambule be mubakaga no, it's not an issue because your problem, you and your husband are what? We committed them, the two of you. Okay? So you better allow the heat hit you, then you solve the problem. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm profoundly honored and extremely humbled to host you here today. For me, this is home. I'm at home, and at home to do something that is going to handle an element where I have my true passion in empowering people in order to handle or to prevent crime, especially terror, extremism, and things like that. So my name is David Waswa Sengendo. I'm an Assistant Inspector General Police and the Director Counter-Terrorism, the Uganda Police Force. I bring you greetings from the Inspector General of Police and the entire police management and from my directorate. Today is a very important day from riding on words that have been spoken by the previous speakers. When we see a launch of one of the pillars where we think is going to give us strength, to give us energy and momentum to deliver what we are mandated to. We are mandated as security people or security enforcers, law enforcement enforcers and security to make sure that Ugandans peaceful and happy. Times have changed, and he has talked about what they call soft approaches, which rhymes very well with the saying nti obugonvu bw'olujegere ge maanyi gaalwo. Era omulala n'agamba nti bw'oba onookwata empungu tekikwetaagisa kubuuka nga mpungu, wabula kugimanya empungu kyeki, eri etya, yeeyisa etya, biro eva waggulu nedda wansi, n'omanya makubo kimwonooyita okugikwata. So newankubadde nga n'obutujju, terrorism is so complicated, so complex. It is one thing which, if I define it here today, someone else will say you are defining it like that because you are putting on that uniform, or because you belong there. And the definition is in actually, someone said it depends on who is defining it. So it is that complex. One person will tell you that for me, I may not be able to define terrorism, but when I see it, I will say that is terrorism. So it is that complicated. But it is that complex. We don't need to be complicated to prevent it. We don't need to be so complicated to fight it and defeat it. So there are some things which, especially we Ugandans, have taken for granted, unfortunately. The prevailing peace and stability. Many of us, especially the young people, when you talk to them, for us this is what we want. But do you know what Kavuyo looks like? Do you know what Kavuyo is? Now there are some things we take for granted as Ugandans. If you look around us, in the western part, DRC is in conflict, South Sudan is in conflict, Sudan is in conflict, even our neighbors, the other side, much as it is good, but Kenya, every other time, especially on the coastal side, Somalia. Now, the fact that there is peace and security and an environment which is, convenient for us to do what we want to do, we shouldn't take it for granted. The only thing we have to do is to what tafari do we have to pick to make sure that we sustain. And I think that's where Ashraf and friends got this name, Hongera. Hongera, what does Hongera mean? Carry on. Okay, congratulations. Yes, congratulations, but go on. Hongera Saana. Thank you for doing this. How can we sustain that? How can we sustain it? In order to sustain it, there are things we have to do. Things are not complicated things. We just need to understand our situation. What are the challenges that we have? The other day, Yunus was talking to us, and like, you police, you understand the people you are policing. Okay? What is the problem? Then what solutions can we put on the table? Mahmoud has said, if it means in PCVE, we talk about dialogue, sitting down and talk. Those are not new things. Over in the family, kuchalo, maybe at a fireplace. Amanya agali awo mukutula ne muogera loga naye kungiguli ne ebintu byokola byesitegeera bwabanga okutte David ne Muhammad yomuyisa bulala naye nga mbikugambye tulina gye tuvudde mu kintu kino. gatadda nti waliwo ensobi maybe zetubadde tukola mu kwasaganya ensonga ez'obutujju, naye nga abantu abamu bwebayitanga nti tujja kwogera, omusajja najja n'atuula wansi ne mubeerawo ne mwogera ensonga, ono n'ayogera, ono n'avaawo nga yasirise, naye ziba ziwera ssaawa 11 n'alyoka akwata akazindalo najja n'abagamba kino kiri mukola bwe mutire kino, kaŋŋende kasita bibagambye nja kwebaka kutulo, ng'ekyo kyokka ekyokuba nti ozze n'oyogerako apya before them, mugambye okay, osanga batandise okwetegeera. Now, those are the things of the mechanism we are trying to look at. Which other ways can we do? Which problems do you have that probably you can even extend my hand to? Kinze ebisinga okunyigiriza mujja ne mwogera nga misitoli bw'agambye naye mutugaga mubutego tusuusiza wano olwanaku bulamba naye nga temukwaddeyo nakaakulya ye ne gye ŋŋenda omanyi kye naali ekikulo omanyi byempitamu at least mpa ensigo nenensige era nebaza kiraku wategedde nti abantu tebajja kutuula wali boogere obwezi tujja kubategeerawo neogula bagamba ogenda enjala erudda please Hongera Saana. So ekigambo ky'obutujju nga bwe ŋŋambye, obutujju definition zonna zigamba nti obutujju is an act of violence, ekikolwa ekyokukozesa amaanyi agayitiridde n'olumya obulamu n'ebintu n'obisaanyaawo nga tutudde ku balala abakwetoolodde nga gwogenderera okwetuusaako ebiweetaaga. The law wetteeka lyaffe erya Anti-Terrorism Act ligamba terrorism is an act of violence or threat of violence carried out for purposes of influencing government or an international organization or intimidating the public indiscriminately for purposes of religious, economic, social, political interests without due regard to life and property. So when you say I'm here to fight terrorism, terrorism is an act. Have you gone a little beyond that? Even when Mr. Onu and Mr. Seba are trying to pick information about terrorism, they are picking information about those people who are about to act. Maybe who are making bombs, IEDs, looking for money. But what are those other things that bring these people to act? By the time a terrorist enters there to start shooting us, or to bring a bomb here, he has walked a journey. He was recruited, he was deceived, maybe he was Stevie, the way Muhammad was, he was born as Stevie. And later he became a Jamiu for reasons he wanted. Then he went and trained. Now that is journey. So why should we wait for Jamiu to reach here? Okay, for Stevie, converted Stevie, to reach here and bomb us. When probably there would have been softer approaches like Okutula at the fireplace and we talk. Maybe it was poverty. Maybe it was a bad LOC who connived with the Mufere. Ne batunda ettaka ly'abaana batata abafudde abaana ne beekyawa n'oli n'abazuula nti abaana baabali bayirize najja n'abalimba limaze mujje mbatwale Congo mbatwale kiti. So we need to take that step backwards such that we can fight terrorism. We reduce the number of people, the entry point of those people that enter into this terrorism. And one of the things we have to do is to go to them. Leave Nakasero and the SC, Mr. Onyo and come and meet these people. Leave Naguru, come and talk to them. If there are issues, who else can you work with? Civil society X, local government, local leaders, the parents, the teachers, religious leaders, they all have an input. Instead of waiting for an act of terrorism, where it is only worse when these people that are trained It is only security components problem. But when we step back, everybody comes on board, including the other one who thought that he was being discriminated, okay, persecuted. Bali bamusosola naye nagala ne maybe nange nsobola ngeri gye bazze eno nga sina. In fact, you solve the problems before you see them. That is the strategy we call the prevention and countering of violent extremism and terrorism. Singa tutegeera obuzibu bwe buli, ky'omuntu watukira okuvaayo n'agala kaŋŋende mmira omwoyo gwange netuseekubo aba ayina gy'avudde. Kati katumusange eyo police constable eyagenda n'amulyako enguzi. Omusajja yali atunze ettaka lye, ne bagenda ne bamubako ssente, ate we yagenda okuloopa, oli bwe yaloopa bwe yajja n'asasula gamba naawe genda gwe bagamba nti gwabbye ssente ate oli kagwemba nsiba. Obuntu ng'obwo obunyigiriza abantu baffe byonna tubijjeyo tubitegeere, n'abantu baffe ekisinga obukulu tubajje tubafunire ebyokukola. So senga twesomesa, someone said with a gun you will kill terrorists, but with education you will kill terrorism. GS abatuuki bajja kujja nga bakutte ebyokulwanyisa obakuba amasasi obadde naye onookoma kwabo kubanga tomazeewo terrorism. Baterrorist bo bakulu naye terrorism ekyaliwo kubanga tugenze for the causes, the drivers. Now those are the soft approaches we want to talk about, and it is the entry point of Hongera. And there is no power, there is no energy that can be as effective fighting terrorism as that. Because if recruiters have to know where to recruit from, then everybody go, twategeera mwatulimba nnyo, baana baffe mwabatwala nnyo Congo, basibira bwereere. Lumu nali njogera n'abantu balina Mr. Muhammad oyo ekyazanga eyo, bwe twayogera twayogera eri abaisiraamu baali bagiko olwo twali tusinkanye n'abaana akutwale. Kati omwana omu ye n'aŋŋamba nti nze taata wange saamulabako, maama yaŋŋamba yafiira Congo. Naye maama n'aŋŋamba nti taata we ekyamussa kwagala ddiini ye, ne mwana wange nawe yagala nnyo eddiini yo, teri kisinga ekyo. Ti era kyawa nnyo gavumenti kuba gavumenti ye yamutta. Kati omwana n'agamba nze ne nkula nga kyesinga obutayagala ku nsi ewa poliisi ya gavumenti. Ndowooza taata wange we yali akomye okugikyawa we natandikira. Naye okusinziira ku bitabo by'oyogedde wano afande, ebintu bino waliwo we tutamategeera bulungi. Waawo neekumpeseza n'okuyingira poliisi ngenda kumaliriza sininsini ey'omukaaga era bwe naamala bwe bali bawaandika abapoliisi nange ngenda kuyingira. I'm happy that we are here to open up this office, which is going to be the coordinating office for this very important functionality. And there is bwenze bwentumula bwenti nendaba gye tugenda, ndabanga abayingidde bwetu naye nga gye tulaga wagenda kuba wagaziwa. I'm seeing a lot of prospects because it will help us to understand our people, but they will also understand us. They will take away the misconceptions and the perceptions they have towards police, including towards terrorism. We shall tell them that terrorism is complicated. The only way to fight it is to come to Chivoga and we give you seats and you tell us your problems, you criticize us, we learn from you, you learn from us, and we agree on how to move forward. Kati Jamilu mkulu ne banene Musa nani we banaddayo ekibuga nti bagenze kunoonya ba recruiting nga teri. Uchaba. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody, religious leaders, security, the government, and I want to thank the president for always coming up with good programs that are tailored. Obuzibu bwe tukijjamu bwe bali Mr. Sempa bw'agambye, sometimes an idea is so good and perfect, naye bwe bampa tingende mbeeko kyentwala mu butuufu ekinaana kisigala wano. Wala government programs okuva emabegako, naye singa owulira ebigambo bya president kati ng'ayogera bwe yali ayogera ku end of the year state of national address, era yayogera nti abasinze okunemesa programu zange bamanyi, naye eno PDM eteekwa okutambula. Era nzibuninamu abo abange beninako obuyinza directly nga bapoliisi ne RDCs ekooti abo tulina okwogera ne justice naki ayogera with passion ng'agamba newankubadde nge waliwo ebibadde biganya okutambula ku luno, we must move forward, must empower ourselves, and work with everyone. Ebigambo mwami Sempa byakomezaayo mu bitwali nga bikulu nnyo, naye nga njagala maliriza nga neebaza Hongera Saana. I want to thank the President's Office and everyone, religious leaders, and all of you for supporting this. And I want to call upon you to continue. I tell you, for me, I see light at the end of the tunnel.
His remarks resonate deeply with our mission for a united, peaceful, and thriving community. Together, we embark on this exciting new journey. Join us in making a difference in the lives of the communities we serve. Hongera Saana Uganda office is now open. Thank you for being part of this momentous occasion.